Hello, welcome to a yoga session. This is workout 21 on our yoga semester. My name is Eli Welcome to Tarrant County College. We are starting today on our mats. Seated position. If you'd rather have crisscross applesauce legs, that's completely acceptable. If you'd rather have your legs straight out in front of you, go for that. If you need to be propped up onto something, you can. If you'd rather be in a kneeling position, you have that option as well. Let's breathe and lengthen our arms up and overhead. Breathing out, we release hands and energy to our heart center. Breathe in, arms go back up and overhead. Breathe out as we rest our hands by our sides. One breath, one movement. Body and mind working together. Breath and movement matching. Practicing the use of a positive affirmation. Today, I embrace my inner strength. Today, I embrace my inner strength. It's okay if your pace is faster or slower than mine, as long as we're breathing, as long as we're listening to our bodies, as long as we're feeling or following the right path. On our next inhalation, let's keep both arms up and overhead. On our next exhalation, drop one hand down into an activated lateral flexion. Breathe in, both arms to the sky. Breathe out, laterally flex to the other side. I personally prefer legs crisscross applesauce on this one. You are welcome to have your legs in any position that serves your body best. Next time we breathe in, keep both arms up and overhead. Switch the cross of your applesauce if you have applesauce legs. And switch or continue with your activated, seated lateral flexion. Today, I embrace my inner strength. Today, I embrace my inner strength. The next time we breathe in, let's keep both arms up and overhead. Breathing out, releasing hands to heart center. Finding ourselves moving into a type of rotation of our spine. So you can rest your wrists onto your thighs or your knees. Shoulder towards opposite knee as we create this circular motion. Some of us can go deeper than others on this rotation for the spine. Not necessarily rotation, just circumduction movement. It's okay, again, if your pace is faster or slower than mine. Shoulder towards opposite knee. 3 more counts in this direction. Breath continuation 2. Finding ourselves completing this particular repetition, then switch the cross of your applesauce, reversing the direction of this motion. Today, I embrace my inner strength. Today, I embrace my inner strength. Returning to a seated upright position. You can keep your legs crisscross. I like to straighten my legs forward on this one. Breathe and lengthen arms up and overhead. Breathe out, clasping the hands together, pressing those palms forward. Breathe and lengthen arms back up and overhead. Breathe out to rest our hands by our sides. One breath, one movement, body and mind continuing to work together. Breath and movement matching. Maybe add a forward fold as you press those palms forward, just an option, not an obligation. If you have the legs straighten forward, it promotes a nice stretch for the hamstrings and the low back. Let's release our hands back down. Returning to our crisscross applesauce legs, twist over to one direction. Now my hand that's closest to you, I'm going to breathe in, open that arm, and then breathe out, return to that twisted position. Breathe in as I open, breathe out as I close. If you do happen to have crisscross applesauce, let's switch that cross, twist over to the other side. Breathe in as we open. Breathe out as we close. Last one. Close it back up. Finding ourselves onto our hands and knees if we're able to place ourselves onto hands and knees. If not, it's okay to stand for our cat-cows. Breathing out as we round into our beautiful cat. Breathing in as we arch into our beautiful cow. Breathing out and breathing in. One breath, one movement, body and mind working together. Breath and movement. Child's pose, extended, modified, or regular. Muscle memory of a place we can return to at any point during our yoga session if our bodies want to take a break. Curling those toes under for downward facing dog. Child's pose extended can serve as a substitute for down dog. We walk our dog, alternating as we press one heel down, then the other. We have starfish hands. Even weight distribution amongst our fingertips and our palms. We're resting our knees back down, Child's pose, extended, modified, or regular. We find ourselves rolling forward. Breathe into our kneeling plank or regular plank. Breathe out. We chaturanga all the way down, laying on our bellies. Once we're on our bellies, we roll over to one side. Top hand will serve as our stabilizer. Let's breathe and lift and point this top leg. Breathe out, flex through this heel. We lower. Breathe and lift and point. If this is too discomforting, bend the bottom knee. Breathe out, flex and lower. Breathe and lift and point. Blow out, flex and lower. Breathe and lift and point. Breathe out, 5. Breathe and lift and point. Blow out, flex and lower, 4. Breathe and lift. Breathe out, flex and lower, 3. Breathe and lift. Breathe out, flex and lower, 2. Breathe and lift. Breathe out, flex and lower, 1. We breathe and lift and point the top leg. Breathe all of our air out. 10 small circles. We go 10. 9. Breathe. 8, 7, 6. Shh, shh, shh. 2, 1. Reverse. 10. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay here. Breathe in. The foot is slightly lifted. Breathe out. We fold through this knee joint. Kick our butt. Breathe in as we straighten and point. Breathe out. We bend and flex. Breathe in. Straighten and point. Breathe out. 5. Breathe and straighten and point. Blow out. Bend and flex. 4. Breathe and straighten and point. Blow out. Nice and controlled. 3. Breathe and straighten and point. Breathe out, bend and flex. 2. Breathe and straighten and point. Breathe out, bend and flex. 1. Breathe in as we straighten and point. Breathe out, lift the bottom leg, and then lower on the same exhalation. Breathe in, raise just the top leg slightly. Breathe out, zipping our inner thighs. We lower. 5. In, lift, out, lift, and lower. 4. In, lift, out, lift, and lower. 3. In, lift, out, lift, and lower. 2. In, lift, and out, zip, and lower. 1. We stay here as we breathe in. Breathe out, both legs lifting together, hips are stacked. Stay here as we breathe in. Stay here as we breathe out. Breathe in as we lower. Again, blow out, both legs together lifted. Stay here to breathe in. Stay as we breathe out. Breathing in as we lower. Breathe out, both legs together. Stay here, breathe in. Stay here, breathe out. Breathe in as we lower. Blow out, both legs together. Stay here as we breathe in. Stay as we breathe out. Breathe in as we lower. And blow out, both legs together. Stay here to breathe in. Stay here to breathe out. Breathe in as we lower. Top hand to our top leg, head and or legs together. Breathing in when we prepare. Breathe out, head and or legs together. Stay as we breathe in. Stay as we breathe out. Breathe in as we lower. Breathe out, head and or legs. Stay here to breathe in. Stay here to breathe out. Breathing in as we lower. Blow out, head and or legs. Stay here, breathe in. Stay as we breathe out. Breathe in as we lower. Breathe out, head and or legs. Stay here to breathe in. Lateral flexors are at work. Stay here to breathe out. Breathing in as we lower. And blow out, head and or legs. Stay here as we breathe in. Stay as we breathe out. Breathing in as we lower back down. Bending our knees. Taking our pressure off of this top hip. We're going to flip our body around to face the other side. I'll just continue to face you so my voice can project towards you. Top hand in front of our chest as our stabilizer. Breathe in, lift and point the top leg. Breathe out, flex. We lower. 8. Breathe in, lift and point. Blow out, flex, and press down. 7. In, lift, out, flex, and press. 6. In, lift, out, flex, and press. 5. In, lift, out, flex and press. 4, in, lift, out, flex and press. 3, in, lift, out, flex and press. 2, in, lift, and out, flex and press. Down 1. Breathe in, we lift and point the top leg. Breathe all of our air out, 10 small circles from the hip joint for 10. Shh, shh, shh. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, shh, shh, 2, 1. Stay here as we breathe in. Breathe out, bend the knee, flex the foot, kick your butt. Breathe in as we straighten and point. Breathe out, we bend and flex. Breathe in, straighten and point. Breathe out, 4 more. Breathe in as we point. Blow out, 3. Breathe in, straighten and point. Blow out, 2. Breathe in as we point. I lied. Now that's blow out, 2. Breathe in, and last 1. Breathe in, straighten and point. Breathe out, bottom thigh comes up to meet the top thigh. In the same exhalation, we lower both legs. Breathe in, raise just the top leg. Breathe out, zipping our inner thighs, we lower 5. In, lift, out, lift, and lower 4. In, lift, out, lift, and lower 3. In, lift, out, lift, and lower 2. In, lift, and out, lift, and lower 1. Stay as we breathe in. Breathe out, both legs lifting together. Stay here as we breathe in. Hips are stacked. Stay to breathe out. Breathe in as we lower. Breathe out, both legs lifting together. Stay here, breathe in. Inner thighs are connected. Stay to breathe out. Breathing in as we lower. Breathe out, both legs lifting together. Stay here, breathe in. Stay as we breathe out. Breathing in as we lower. Breathe out, both legs lifting together. Stay here, breathe in. Stay as we breathe out. Breathing in as we lower. Blow out, both legs lifting together. Stay here, breathe in. Stay here to breathe out. Breathing in to lower. Top hand to the top leg, head and or legs together. Breathing in when we prepare. Breathe out, head and or legs together. Stay here as we breathe in. Stay as we breathe out. Breathing in as we lower. Breathing out, head and or legs together. Stay here to breathe in. Stay to breathe out. Breathing in as we lower. Breathing out, head and or legs. Stay as we breathe in. Stay as we breathe out. Lateral flexors are at work. Breathing in as we lower. Breathing out, head and or legs. Stay here as we breathe in. Stay as we breathe out. Breathe in as we lower. And blow out, head and or legs. Stay here to breathe in. Stay as we breathe out. Breathing in as we lower, bending our knees, taking the pressure off of our hips. Finding ourselves returning to a seated position. Butterfly pose, soles of the feet touching, hands to ankles. Transitioning from mountain 1 to mountain 2, holding poses now 3 to 5 breaths. Hinge the heart center forward, sinking face over feet, and breathing. Some of us can move a little bit deeper into this stretch over others, and that's completely acceptable. Today, I embrace my inner strength. Today, I embrace my inner strength. Legs forward or crisscross applesauce. Breathe in, lengthen those arms up and overhead. Breathe out, swan dive forward. Hands can rest at thighs, knees, shins, ankles, feet. If you want to use your strap or some semblance of a strap to wrap around the arches of your feet to allow you to sink 1/10 of a millimeter deeper into the stretch, use your exhalation to help you sink into this stretch. The next time we breathe in, let's look forward, monkey pose. Breath continuation here as well. Eye gaze forward as opposed to down. On our next exhalation, we relax through head and neck. Finding ourselves upright. We're bending our knees. Yoga tabletop. You can place your fists behind your booty or flatten those hands, fingers facing your booty. Breathe in as we prepare. Breathe out. We're raising our butt off of the mat. We can stay here, eye gaze forward. If neck muscles allow us to look to the ceiling, go for it. We can stay here in our yoga tabletop, or we can straighten our knees into an incline plank. Up to you. We're resting our hips back down, preparing for some supine positions. We lay down on our backs, knees are bent. Modified pigeon pose. Right ankle to left thigh. Breathe in as we prepare. Breathe out, maybe raise my left foot off of the mat. Possibly right hand inside the hole created by our legs, clasping our hands around the left hamstrings or the left shin, depending on personal preference. Another option instead of our pigeon pose would be Turkish twist legs, stacking knees on top of each other, sending hands towards those feet, tugging your feet in towards your face. Continue to send positive, healing exhalations to any area of our body where we currently feel sensation. We're releasing, uncrossing our legs, now left ankle to right thigh, figure four, modified pigeon pose. Raise the right foot off of the floor. Maybe left hand inside the hole created by our legs, clasping our hands around our right shin or the right hamstrings. Using the power of our hands to help us sink 1/10 of a millimeter deeper into the stretch. And if we'd like those Turkish twist leg options, knees stacking on top of each other, sending our hands to our feet and tugging our feet in towards our bodies to intensify the sensation. We carefully release. Knees are bent, soles of the feet to the mat, shoulder bridge pose, raising our hips off of the mat, walking our shoulders a little bit closer towards each other. We can stay here with our hands if we'd like to interlace our hands for a chest expansion. We're welcome to interlace our hands into our chest expansion arms. Releasing the hold of our hands, resting our hips back down to our mat. Let's roll onto our bellies, prone position. Gentle cobra, feet as close together as desired. I like to have my feet about a sits bones distance apart. Gliding my shoulders away from my ears, I raise my face slightly off of the mat into my gentle cobra. You're welcome to stay here in your gentle cobra. If you would like more sensations for the low back, apply pressure into those hands. Lift those elbows off the mat into more of an upward facing dog sensation. Breath continuation. Every day is different. Every body is different on what we would like to experience. Today, I embrace my inner strength. Today, I embrace my inner strength. We carefully release back down. Finding ourselves rolling over to one side for a side lying dancer pose. Bending our knee joint of our top leg, drawing this heel towards our booty with our top hand, and we breathe. We release. We transition to the other side. Let's release. Rolling onto our bellies again. Child's pose. Extended. Walking our hands over to one side of our mat as we sink our booty to the opposing heel. Continuing to send positive, healing exhalations to any area of our body where we currently feel a sensation. We're switching our hands over to the opposite side, sending our booty to the opposing end of those hands. And let's return to center. Downward facing dog, curl those toes under, raise the knees off of the mat, sink the head through the arms with our starfish hands. Today I embrace my inner strength. Today I embrace my inner strength. Let's walk, hop, or jump, feet forward, forward fold. Potential chest expansion arms here. It's okay to hang out in your forward fold. We're going to repeat our dancer pose from a standing position. However, if you'd like to return to the floor and perform the sideline dancer pose, you're welcome to stay closer to the mat. Otherwise, engage through the abdominal core. Let's bring ourselves up to our standing position, releasing the hold of our hands if we chose our chest expansion arms, standing mountain pose. Preparing for our standing dancer pose, we'll take our right elbow and fold it. Take our left hand to our left foot. And if we need to place our right hand onto a wall to assist us with balance, we're more than welcome to hold onto a wall. Otherwise, raising our right arm. Possibly stay here, maybe hinge forward. Possibly send both hands to our left foot. We carefully come back to center, preparing to move to the other side. And if you're laying on your side, just roll over to the other side. Folding through our left elbow, sending right hand towards right foot. Dancer pose, potentially elevating the left arm. Maybe hinging forward. This side might be easier to balance. It might be more challenging. Possibly both hands to our right foot. I accept my body and my mind completely in this moment, in this breath. We carefully our standing mountain pose. Palms are facing forward. Shoulders are melting away from our ears. Breathe in, we lengthen arms up and overhead. Clasping our hands together, point our fingers to the sky. On our next exhalation, laterally flexing to one side, maybe sending our eye gaze to the sky above us, always breathing. The next time we breathe in, we return to center. The next time we breathe out, we laterally flex to the other side. The next time we breathe in, we return to center. Breathing out as we release hands and energy to our heart center. Preparing for a standing pigeon pose. You're going to lay down on your back again and perform pigeon on your back. Or if you're familiar with pigeon from your downward facing dog, you're welcome to choose that option as well. We'll start off in a gentle chair, folding those knees. We'll take our right ankle onto our left thigh. We could stay here, possibly hinging at the hip joint and possibly sending our hands to the blocks, textbooks, or the floor. We can experiment as we fold and straighten through our left knee joint, the floor leg, to determine if this creates more or less sensation for our right hamstrings. Another option, if balance allows, is to send our hands behind us into a chest expansion. Today, I embrace my inner strength. Today, I embrace my inner strength. We gently release ourselves from this pose, standing mountain pose for my balancers. Reconnecting body and mind before we switch to the other side. If you're standing, fold those knees into your gentle chair. Then placing left ankle onto right thigh. Possibly hinge forward and send hands to textbooks, blocks, or floor. Experiment as we straighten and fold through our right knee joint. Possibly chest expansion, arms, realizing that sometimes we're more successful on one side over another. It's the journey that matters as opposed to the final destination. We carefully release, finding ourselves for my standers into our regular mountain pose. Palms are facing forward, shoulders are melting away from our ears. We breathe in, lengthen arms back up and overhead. Breathing out as we release hands and energy to our heart center. Tree balancing pose. You can step up against a wall to assist you in stability options. Right knee opens out towards the front of our mats, possibly sliding our right foot up towards our left ankle, calf, above the knee, or completely up our left inner thigh. Clothing selection may affect our foot's ability to stay attached to our leg. Hands can be in prayer pose. Hands might elevate up and overhead. I'm going to keep my hands here for today. We breathe. Let's carefully release. Standing mountain pose. Preparing for our tree pose on the other side and letting go of our competitive spirit. If we were successful to a certain level on the first side, we may or may not be that successful on the second side. Opening the left knee towards the back of our mat, sliding our left foot up if possible, maybe to ankle, calf, above the knee, or completely up our left inner thigh. Hands may go to heart center, possibly elevating arms up and overhead. Today, I embrace my inner strength. Today, I embrace my inner strength. We carefully release to our standing position. Mountain pose. Let's widen our stance to a wide sunflower stance. Breathe in, arms elevate up and overhead. Breathing out, hands and energy to our heart center. Turning our left toes to face the back of our mat for warrior two foot position. Right heel presses towards the front of our mat. We fold through our left knee joints, sink into low body as we expand back with our upper body. Possible eye gaze over towards our left fingers. And we breathe. Let's straighten through our left knee joint for our triangle pose. Breathe in, lean towards the back of our mat. Breathe out, drop the left hand to knee, shin, block, ankle, foot, or floor. Automatically press our hips forward, maybe lengthen up through the tips of our right fingers. Eye gaze can be forward or up towards your right hand. Always breathing. Let's release our hands down towards our left foot, stepping our right foot slightly closer to our left to accommodate our pyramid pose. Hands can be onto blocks or textbooks. Straightening through the left knee joint, shifting our hips forward and back. Having the option to stay here in our pyramid. If you'd like to join me for balancing half moon, you may, folding through the left knee joint, walking my hands towards the back of my mat, about 12 inches in front of my left foot. I can stay here. I could raise my right foot up to the height of my spine. Possibly stay here. Maybe right hand towards right leg. Possibly right fingertips to the sky. Maybe eye gaze towards the side of my mat. It's okay to have your back propped up against a wall in this balancing half moon option. Dorsiflexing the right foot, pulling the right heel behind us, and breathing. Let's carefully release, fingers and toes, pyramid pose. Hands can stay on either side of our left foot, maybe chest expansion arms, possibly upside down prayer pose arms. Reverse triangle, taking my left hand to my waist, twisting away from you. Maybe raising the left fingers to the sky, straightening through the left elbow joint, possibly setting my eye gaze over my left shoulder. Always breathing. We return to our pyramid pose. Let's walk our hands back towards the center of our mats, adjusting our feet to our wide sunflower feet, softening through those knees. Using the power of our legs, we breathe and circle, sweeping our arms up and overhead. Breathing out as we release hands and energy to our heart center. Noticing the difference between the right and the left sides of our body. Let's Perform that series on the other side. Right toes face the front of our mats, pressing our left heel towards the back of our mat. Opening our arms out to the side, we fold through our right knee joint, sink into low body, expand back with our upper body. Strengthening through our right quadriceps, stretching through the left inner thigh. Let's straighten through our right knee joint, triangle pose. Breathe in, lean towards the front of our mat, booty towards the back of our mat. Breathing out, dropping right hand to knee block, shin, textbook, ankle, foot, or floor. Lengthening up, possibly sending our eye gaze towards our left fingers. Imagining our bodies in between two window frames. Carefully not touching the glass in front of us or the cardboard behind us. Window frames, window panes. I was thinking of a frame of a picture. Yeah, my mind's going. Let's drop our hand down and pyramid pose this out. Step our left foot slightly inward, straightening through our right knee joint. Possibly shifting our hips forward and back. I think our word of the day is going to be moon to commemorate our next pose. So M as in monkey, O as in octopus, O again as in octopus, N as in nail. Moon is our word of the day, M-O-O-N. Possibly balancing half moon option, folding through the right knee joint, walking our fingertips about 12 inches in front of our right foot. We could stay here. We could hang out in our pyramid. Possibly raising our left foot up to the height of our spine, dorsiflexing through our right foot. Maybe through our left foot, I should say, dorsiflex through the left foot. Maybe raise that left hand up to the height of our left leg. Maybe left fingertips to the sky. Potential eye gaze in my direction. It's okay to have your back up against your wall to promote a stable surface. Breath continuation. Carefully we release fingers and toes, pyramid pose. Reversing our triangle, right hand to the waist, twisting away from me. Maybe eye gaze over the right shoulder, maybe straighten through the right elbow joint and raise those right fingers to the sky. Always breathing, always listening to our bodies, definitely feeling. Today, I embrace my inner strength. Today, I embrace my inner strength. We carefully return to center, walking our hands back towards the center of our mats, adjusting our feet to our wide sunflower stance. Softening our knees. We breathe in, circle sweep our arms to the sky. Breathing out as we release our hands and our energy to our heart center. We step forward towards the front of our mats. Mountain pose. Palms are facing forward. Shoulders are relaxed away from our ears. We breathe in, lengthen our arms up and overhead. Breathe out, we swan dive, hinging from our hips. Forward fold. We walk, hop, or jump, feet back. Downward facing dog. Or child's pose extended. Resting our knees to the mat. If we're in down dog, finding ourselves returning to our preferred version of child's pose. promoting a massage for our forehead. We're going to bend our elbows and stack fists side by side, raising our thumbs up, resting our forehead onto our elevated thumbs. Now creating a circular motion on our forehead with our thumbs, releasing any tension above our eyes. Let's walk our hands back towards our knees and wrap our feet around towards the front of our mats. Finding ourselves laying on our backs. Spinal rotation will bring one knee in towards our chest as we straighten the other leg down flat onto the mat. Taking this knee and crossing the leg to the opposite side, maybe opening our other arm out and setting our eye gaze over to the other side for this spinal rotation. Rotation of the spine guides us in our digestive tract. Let's gently return to center. Transition to the other side, drawing this knee in towards our chest. Some of us might be able to twist more than others, and that's completely acceptable. Go to your body's range of motion. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose if possible. Allowing our breath to help us sink a tenth of a millimeter deeper into our stretch. Let's gently return to center, hugging both knees in towards our chest, possibly rocking a little bit side to side. Happy baby pose. Knees open out nice and wide. If you're able to, wrap and cap your peace fingers around your big toes. Go for it. If you're not able to, that's okay. Just keep your knees out wide, soles of the feet to the sky. You can keep those knees bent or possibly straighten through the knee joint if you'd like to experience more sensation for your hamstrings and your inner thighs. Head could be resting to the mat. If you'd like to elevate your head off the mat, you're more than welcome to do so. I'm going to keep my head resting. Let's release. Preparing to move through a little bit of muscle tightening. Let's begin at those toes, curling those toes under and tightening the muscles in your feet around the arches, moving that tension into your heels, holding on to all of this tension, moving up above the knees, above those knees to your hamstrings and your quadriceps, the gluteal muscles, tightening up into the hip flexors, the lower abdominals, moving through the rib cage and the spine, moving up into the shoulders, down into the biceps, bend the elbows, fold fists, fold elbows, tightening fists, clenching through the jaw, tightening all the muscles in our face. Now from where we started, let's begin to soften, softening through the toes, relaxing through the arches of our feet, relaxing through those ankles, softening through the shins and the calves, the knees, the thighs, the hamstrings, the glutes, relaxing through the sinking tailbone into your mat, abdominals relaxed, moving the softness through the rib cage, down into those shoulder blades, into your biceps, triceps, soften through the inner elbows, release any tension in the hands, the palms can flop up towards the ceiling, release tension in the neck and in the face, the eyes could remain closed gently. And let's think of the area behind our ankles, our Achilles tendon, as we soften this portion of our body. Sending our breath focus to our abdominal core, releasing any tension in the gut. Moving our breath focus towards our heart center, finding a calm, peaceful, and relaxed heart center. Let's swallow to help relax through our communication center. Finally, the area in between our eyebrows, we soften this portion of our bodies. This is our time to breathe. This is our time to feel. If a thought comes to mind, allow your exhalation to erase it. noticing any positive transformational changes that may have occurred during today's session. Let's carefully press ourselves up, returning to our seated position. Briefly returning to that shoulder to opposite knee motion we performed near the beginning of class. Brief return to one breath, one movement. Let's reverse the direction of our circular motion. Returning to center, switching the cross of our applesauce if we happen to have crisscross applesauce. Lengthening arms up and overhead, laterally flexing side to side with our one breath, one movement. Body and mind continuing to work together. Breath and movement matching. The next time we breathe in, we continue to lengthen arms up and overhead. The next time we breathe out, let's release our hands and our energy to our heart